Happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope your week's going good. Today I went to a yard sale early this morning, which is odd for Wednesday, but with this hurricane that's supposed to be hitting the Gulf Coast, we don't know if it's going to stay left or go right. If it goes right, it comes towards us. So I couldn't understand why they're actually having it on a Wednesday, because it's supposed to be Friday or Saturday this thing's supposed to hit. So I have footage of that. I will show that after I go into this local thrift store and see what we can get into, and hopefully it's something good. So I haven't been to the thrift stores in probably 2-3 days, and hopefully they restocked over the weekend. So let's go ahead and go in there and see what they got. Okay, I'm finished shopping at the Goodwill that I went to. I did find a few things in there. Let me show you the first thing I found. This one is a Dandy. Dandy makes some pretty good stuffed animals. So this is a Dandy, gets like a Triceratops. I got this for $2.99. It doesn't smell bad at all. So I should be able, I was looking at some of the comps on there for different various Dandy dinosaurs, and some of them go anywhere from $15 to $35. So hopefully I can make median $25, maybe $27 on. We'll see what we're going for. And I also found yet another pair of True Religion jeans. This time it's women's jeans, and this is the Billy Big T, and they are size 31. So these were $4.99, which I still don't mind paying $4.99 for. But it's $4.99, I could still flip them, probably make about $15 profit on them. And the last thing I did get in there was this Classically Trained t-shirt, Nintendo. That was $2.99, so I should be able to make like $10, $12 off of this one. I did end up at another thrift store, and they didn't have anything that I was going to sell, but they did have 2 items I buy personally. And for some reason, I'm a sucker for old Halloween CDs. The stupid sound effects that they have. I mean, there must be a million of them, but every time I see them for $0.25, 50 cents, pick them up. So I'm starting to get quite a collection. Maybe one day I'll make a video about that. But that's all for today. We'll see you tomorrow. So this morning I decided to hit up a yard sale that I usually go to once a week when they have it. Outside their fence, they usually have these bins, box bins, with quarter items in them. I found a lot of good stuff in these bins. So I started off over here on the left with this first box of books. There wasn't really anything in there of interest to me, and it looked like a lot of love novels. So I started just moving on down the line. There were some Barbies in this box here, but they were kind of broken up and not really old. But the next thing was the Spalding Learn from the Pros disc. It was still sealed, and I figured for $0.25 I would pick it up. I mean, there was not too many. I mean, there's some stars on this disc, but it's not like the top tier stars. They were probably, they're good basketball players, but they're not LeBron or Kobe. But I figured, hey, I'll pick it up and see if I can flip it for $3 or $4. And as I started going through some of these other boxes over here, I was looking for, my eye kind of caught this little stuffed animal over here under this box, and I was trying to get to it, but I figured, nah, that's the box where everything was kind of moving around in. And then I found this Green Lantern flyer, but he was in pretty bad shape. And I started seeing this little bin of toys, and the American Gladiator caught my eye. He was from the 90s, so I picked him up. And there's a bunch of superheroes, and the thing that drives me crazy as I see it right now, over on the left, this character I picked up now, his cape I just kind of threw to the left in the back corner, and I never grabbed it. I just totally bypassed it. So I missed grabbing that cape, but I was looking at, like, there's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but it's one of the newer ones. That Spider-Man I put back, I was one of the newer ones. But the green cape, I totally missed that. So I grabbed that guy who was yellow and blue eventually too, but I was looking for his helmet, and that right there I thought was one of those gold Pokemon cards from the Burger King meals, Happy Meals from the 90s, or their version of the Happy Meal. But yeah, I couldn't find his helmet, and there I was looking around through, and I ended up grabbing him anyway. For $0.25, you can't beat this. Diddy Kong, I grabbed him. So some of these things I probably can sell for, $3 or $4. I'll lot them up, might be able to sell them for $10, but I'm not going to leave them there if they're $0.25. Some of the other characters they had in there were just, the wear on them was pretty bad, so I didn't think I'd be able to clean them up too good. And that character right there, I could not remember who that was. There was a Tony Stark character in there, an Iron Man, but he was kind of broken up. So I just moved along. as we get down to this one box coming up, I was looking at this hat. Oh, before that, I'm actually ahead of myself. This game over here, this how to solve a mystery, how to host a mystery. It was the Star Trek New Generation, how to host or Next Generation, how to host a mystery box. I almost picked it up, and I'm glad I didn't, because when I looked at it, when I got home comped it, was only like $5, $6. But this Snakes and Ladders game I was kind of interested in, and then I didn't see, it looked kind of newer, so I just went ahead and put it back. But that hat right there, I was thinking about grabbing. But before that, these two tapes, I seen one of the tapes was on a rare label, so I went to grab it, and they were stuck together so hard, I was like, nope, I'm not even going to bother, because if I try to pull them apart, it's just going to rip the box. I looked at the hat, and it did have some marks on it, and I just kind of gave up on it. And I also seen a couple boxes with Leapfrog games in there. This I was actually interested in picking up at first, but I think it had a tear on the bottom of it. And this is the first time using my GoPro actually at a yard sale, so yes, I will get better. I just had the camera angled a little differently. I should have had it angled down lower, and I could have got a little more, but you know, we'll work on it with time. And there was nothing else really outside this gate. I was looking at some of those coloring books, not worth anything. I think I found one or two little robots in this box that I was looking through, yeah, but I didn't see anything that was of any value. Once we get inside the gate, though, there was a couple things in there that I was interested in. But he usually has some good furniture there, too. Like, my wife will grab some furniture from him. She redoes furniture and sells them, too, as a little side hobby. This box didn't really have anything good in it. There's some more of those, I think it was Leapster, and there's a couple of DVDs in there. I was hoping to find a couple of the Disney DVDs, but there was nothing. Might have been a Thomas the Tank one in there. But once I got inside here, I started looking around on the tables inside, because sometimes you find some really good stuff. And the clothes up there that hang, every once in a while I'll find a good shirt in there. But as I was turning over here, I noticed over on the right there was some Nintendo and Xbox games. So I tried to book it over there. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything on this table. In case I did, I didn't want to come back, because later on I'll show you somehow there was something I missed and I should have picked up, but a lady grabbed it before I had a chance to pick it up. There was a few things in the DVD pile that I just didn't bother with them, though. There was DVDs on both sides, some box sets, nothing. It was a lot of mainstream, but it was like Everybody Loves Raymond type. But right here on the corner where that arrow is, I picked up 3 FM transmitter iPod Nano boxes. They were brand new, and I grabbed all 3 of them. But right here I'm looking at this book before I pick up those video games. But back to what I was saying about those FM transmitters, I ended up picking up all 3 of them. I didn't show it in this video, but they only came to like $1.50 for all 3, and they were all comping for probably about I don't know, right here, let me cut myself off right here. Right there, I saw that earlier and didn't pick it up, was a 5-0 Goes West statue. And I went over to grab it, and I didn't show it in this video, but as I went over to grab it, one of the ladies was like, I already have it, it's my pile. So I was like, oh, okay, all right. This was pretty much it for the yard sale. Happy Thursday, everybody. Just finished up at the post office, dropping some packages off. I'm on my way to the thrift store that I hit all the time. Today I'm going to take a little bit more time than normal and do some more looking around at some spots that I don't usually look in. I will say, out of all the spots that I go to, I always go to menswear, shoes, blah blah blah. Some of the women's clothing I just bypass. I do look at the women's jeans, because that's where I find like a lot of the True Religion and the other jeans. I'm going to look in some of the women's clothing today, just to get an idea. I have some categories in my head that actually sell, and just get an idea of some things that I need to look for, because men's clothing, like on point when it comes to that. I know what to look for. I know all the stuff. You do the comps. I look at them every day, so I know what rises and what drops. You know, none of this Columbia Joseph A. Bank junk. So I always look at the higher end stuff. But, you know, at one time those were hot. But today I'm going to look at some of the women's clothing. I picked like 5 things on some categories that sell real good. And I'm going to go in and see if I could find them in there. And if not, no big deal. But, you know, I'm trying to reach out and look at some other things besides the usual things that I look for, just to be well versed. But that's it. We're going to go in there and we're going to see what we can get into today. Well, I got out of there just in time. The rain's starting to come down pretty hard. But I did pick up 2 things today that were pretty good, and I should make some decent money off of them. I got this Ray Dunn military wife mug for $2.99. Ray Dunn is a pretty good company for reselling mugs. You can make some decent money off of them. I comp them all the time, so I know they're pretty good. I should make about 10 or 15 bucks off of this. We'll see. It's probably closer to the $10 range because this mug has been selling anywhere from like $5, which was a steal on eBay. But it happens sometimes. Sometimes people get real good deals, and I knew the seller wasn't happy about that. And then sometimes, on average, I should say, you'll probably make about $15 to $25 on some. Some are a little more than that. So you just have to look and see which ones. But this is actually my first one that I found in this Goodwill store. And the last thing that I did find today, which I've got to break it apart when I get home and look at it, is, and it caught my eye when I went in there, is this huge bag of My Little Pony toys. Now, the newer My Little Ponies, I'm guessing that they sell for okay money, nothing crazy. But in this bag, I did find about 4 or 5 of the original 80s My Little Pony toys. And I do remember them because my older 2 daughters collected them. And I remember on their leg they had the, I don't know which leg it was, but anyway, on their hoof, the bottom of it, they had a magnet. And the kids used to stick the magnets to their metallic desk. And they were all over, but I do remember those. And some of those go for really good money. So I'm going to dip through that bag and see what I can find in there. And hopefully they're in pretty decent condition. And then I'll probably, if they're, you know, $5, $10 each, I might just lot them up and sell them. So that bag right there, I believe was $4.99. Hopefully I can make $15 or $20 off of these ponies. And then the other ponies in there, I might just lot them up, the newer ones, and sell them and make $10 on. But we'll see. But that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow. This week I want to go over some items that sold on eBay. This Atlanta Braves XXL jacket I purchased a week ago, and I think it was in one of my videos that I had showed for 20 bucks at a thrift store. I ended up selling it for a best offer of $50. So by the time it was all said and done, I probably made about $45 off of it, maybe 40. This next item caught me by surprise with the price. I had collected Marvel cards years and years ago and put them in binders and just put them away. I had went back through recently and had taken a look at some of them. And when I found this is basically a Wolverine Batman amalgam from back in the day. They made, I think, a couple comics where they had them mixed together. There was Dark Claw. It was like 2 or 3 different, maybe more characters that from the DC universe and Marvel universe that they combined together to make one character. And anyway, this was Dark Claw. I comped the prices and couldn't believe it. They were $150 to $250 for almost mint condition. This one had a little spot on the top corner, but I ended up selling it for $125. I had it listed within probably hours. Somebody had bid on it, and I let the bid just ride out, and yeah, $125. So this was pure profit. This horror soundtrack lot is from my personal collection. I decided to downsize some of my collection. I've been collecting for almost 30 years, so I have got a lot of stuff, but I wanted to get rid of some of the physical media. I can find a lot of this stuff online, and I'm glad I did, because the person that I sold it to, they messaged me and said that they were happy that I'm passing the torch to a fellow collector. This Frankenstein vs. Baragon DVD was Region 2. It didn't have any English subtitles, but I ended up listing it and it sold for $30. Up next is this War of the Gargantuas DVD. This was also a Region 2 DVD with no subtitles. There's a lot of collectors out there that collect these, and it came with the Obi strip on the side. So I ended up selling this one also for 30 bucks. This 90s 18-inch Leatherface I've had for years. This was from my personal collection too. And when I tell you I have a lot of horror stuff, I mean I really do. So I'm downsizing. It's time for some other collectors to enjoy this stuff. I've had fun collecting it over the years, but like I said, I'm trying to get rid of some things, add new things. And it's just been sitting on my shelf. But the person was satisfied with this, and I probably made $100 profit off of it. This last item is from the Fang of Sun Dugram series released in Japan in 1981. This was a 75 episode anime series. It had mechs in there, all kinds of different mechs, which in the US they released some of them as Robotech models. If you ever seen any of those, check them out. You can look them up anywhere. But they took a set of these, and they also took some other stuff from the original Macross stuff to make the Robotech line over here. But they were pretty popular, and this one I sold for $40. I have a few other listed on eBay also. That's it for this week's episode. I didn't get a chance to do a bolo this week. I literally just got out of the hospital a couple hours ago, so I've been resting up. I missed Friday and Saturday thrifting, but no big deal. Stay positive. We'll get into that next week, see what we can find. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe and like button, and we'll see you next time.